Hey Adam, Holland again. Thanks for getting this far on the page. The reason I'm putting in not just information about the company, the compensation plan, the team, training, marketing, strategies, things like that, is I really want you to understand kind of where I'm coming from and my story and how I actually got involved in this industry. I was coming out of college about 5 or 6 years ago now, and I was 22 years old. I was going into my last semester in college, and I was working in a retail job at an electronics store, a small franchise that you probably know called Radio Shack. And this kid came up to me, and I had gotten pitched by people in network marketing before, and those kind of businesses, and um, I was very skeptical about it. But one of the things that he said, are you open minded to making more money? And I'm just like, I'm busy, I can't do that. And he's just like, well, I'm not talking about pennies here. I'm talking about really good money where you can probably walk away from doing this. And it was at the time, it was in the middle of the holiday season. I had been through so much stress. I was working about 50 hours a week at that job while I was going to school for an engineering degree full time. I was just dead. I had no energy or anything. And that really intrigued me. So I said, you know what, it doesn't cost me anything to check it out. And I went and checked it out. And I eventually became a partner with him in his business. And his sponsor was, I mean, they were both, I think they were 19 or 20 when they were getting started. Within 4 years, his sponsor had gone and made up to a $10,000 a month income. But I was never able to find real true success with this company because a lot of it was based off of, or I should say, all of it was based off of building friends and family lists and cold calling and trying to meet people in the mall like my sponsor did, my business partner did with me, and I just wasn't that much of a people person where I felt comfortable walking up to people, and there was a lot of rejection. There was a lot of dropouts, so to speak, not a big retention rate. I think my biggest check was around $1,500. It was like $1,550, which was a pretty decent check. But I had spent so much time and so much money, I had to kind of question whether it was worth it. And I did that in 8 months into that business, and soon thereafter, because of a low retention rate, and I wasn't going forth and doing the work because I didn't want to go to the mall and try and meet strangers and try and harass people I didn't know at the grocery market or a bookstore to try and get into my business. I didn't think that was a very smart way to build a business. So I looked for other ways, and I eventually joined another company online because I felt that was more of a home-based opportunity. It was more internet on the phone instead of attending hotel meetings and that kind of junk. And that had a huge upfront cost. I couldn't afford it, and I eventually fell flat on my face and went broke and quit that. And this whole time I'm working a job, I'm working all these hours, and I went through this for about 4 years before I found this team that I'm a part of now, and everything clicked because when you can have the best opportunity in the world, and Global Resorts Network, it does have a high entry cost, but there's so much potential for profit and for growth. You need to make sure you're getting in on the right team. And that's what I found in my team that I joined, was that there were people that I was surrounded by that they knew what they were doing. They had training set up. They had duplicatable systems in place. They showed me how to go from point A to point B as opposed to just saying, go out and meet people. This business wasn't about that. It wasn't about hotel meetings. It wasn't about harassing family and friends or meeting strangers and locally around your town or what have you. So where I truly found success is where I found strategies that worked, marketing that worked, and different tactics that allowed me to create my own leads without having to get on the phone and call people. And ask yourself this question right now. Did you find this web page by maybe looking in Google? Did you find this report by looking on all these different things that are online? Probably. I probably didn't meet you at a mall or at a restaurant somewhere or whatever. And right now, this site, all these videos, I only had to do them once, and all this stuff is now automated for me. And I'm not saying you have to do videos and stuff like that. I'm just giving you the point that making the point that you don't have to keep doing all this tedious work and all the grunt work. You can take advantage of automated systems that are going to allow you to free up more of your time to do more productive activities, whether it's spend time with your family, do hobbies, or maybe work on your business a little bit more and get some more profits in your pocket. So kind of going back to my story, this whole time in 4 years, I had gone through a lot of struggle. My wife and I, we were over 100 grand in debt between credit cards and college loans and all sorts of stuff. And we kept making bad decisions, and but I always knew that I had a belief in myself that I could do something to get out of the hole that we were in. And the 4 years while I was with this other company, they were based out of Long Island. I live in upstate New York, and every other week they'd have what's called a team meeting. And I drove twice a month for about 4 years on a Thursday night while I was still working a full-time job down to this meeting. I'd leave right from my job at 5 o'clock, maybe carpool with some people. I drive all of us down. We get down to Long Island about 8 or 8:30, and we do a meeting until 11. Then everybody kind of peer pressured everybody else to go to the diner afterwards. All the leaders go to the diner and that kind of junk. Which is fine. I mean, you want to associate with leaders on your team, absolutely, and you got to do whatever it takes. And that's what I understood, is I wanted to associate with that leadership and feed off of their enthusiasm and learn their strategies. The problem was, after 4 years of doing that, I was, getting home at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe even as late as 6 o'clock in the morning, getting absolutely no sleep. And then I'd wake up and go to work that Friday morning. And I did that for 2 days a month. For 4 years, and I was very frustrated, and I just had this desire to say, what, heck with all this, I need to find something that's going to work for me. And it was really this team that just put it together for me. I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit here, but I really want to get across the point that you can get involved with anybody in business, and you can get involved with any company in business, but when you don't have the right mentorship, coaching, training, marketing, all this stuff in place, it's all for naught. So take a look again at the marketing videos, the team training, and really start to understand exactly what you have at your fingertips, not just on the side of the company, the great product, high-valued product, the high-value compensation plan. Start to really understand the fact that you've got an entire community of people on this team that want to help you succeed. And that's really what sets us apart from everybody else that's out there. So continue to read the information below. If you have any questions, call my cell phone. The number's on this page, and I'll catch you later. Bye.